What's up, everybody? Anthony here, specialtymotorcars.net, and a lot of people have been asking for them, so here it is. Here's number 2. This is the second car of my summer yard sale of my project cars. The first one was a Lincoln. I promised everybody in my last live video that this wagon was going to be the second one, and I'm hoping to get through all the rest of the cars by the end of the month, so you'll see a few more come up in the next couple weeks. This right behind me is an 89 Buick Electra Wagon, a state wagon, 70,000 mile car, one owner car that needs just a little bit of TLC. Gonna take a look at it, gonna show you around the car, show you the inside of the car, take it for a spin back to my shop. If you have any questions, all my number, the price, everything's gonna be at the end of the video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give me a like, give me a thumbs up, totally appreciate it. Helps me all through those YouTube algorithms they talk about. Whatever. Anyways, let's get into the car. And here it is, 1989 Buick Electra Estate Wagon. This was in the 80s for these boxy GM wagons. This was the most expensive wagon of the whole lineup. The Buick Electra was the top dog. And then, you know, these cars, they're like timeless classics. The thing I love about these cars is the memories that these cars tie back to people. If you've seen some of my videos, I actually have my own 89 Electra wagon that I bought for my 30th birthday 3 years ago, now almost 4 years ago, and I absolutely adore that car. And the reason why I love that car so much is because my mother, when I was a kid, I was taken home from the hospital in one of these square GM wagons, and I just had to have that memory-making car. I remember going on vacation in that car, my dad taking us on trips, camping. You know, my mother drove one of these. And today I look at one of these and I say, my mother's like, oh, that thing's too big. We take my Electra out every fall and we go pumpkin picking, apple picking. Like, that's really what I use it for. It's kind of sad that I only use it for that, but that seems to be when it comes out. And out of all my cars, I have 20,000 mile Broughams. I got my Fleetwood coupes. I got my Elite Cabriolet, that Buick Electra Wagon, or my 96 Roadmaster. Those two cars are the cars that get the most amount of attention because everybody can relate back to these things. Everybody at some point had a grandfather who had one, had parents who had one, rode in one. Everybody references that third rear-facing seat. And you know what? That's why these cars generate so much attention. To find these cars that aren't completely roached out, they're getting hard to find. I bought mine some years ago, and I was very lucky. And that's what drew me to this one. This car is a one-owner car. It came out of an estate in New Jersey. And you could tell that the person who owned this was a little old man who just always had station wagons. Maybe was a lifelong GM guy, had wagons. This was his last wagon. This was his last car, actually. All the way up until 2000, I think 13 or 14 is when he passed. The car had sat in his carport. I bought the car, I want to say a year and a half, 2 years ago. And really, I've been just letting it sit in my shop. It's been inside, it's been outside, it's been inside. It's time for me to move this on, to let somebody else take on this project that I just haven't found the time to do. It's a beautiful gunmetal gray color with the wood paneling like you would want on any estate wagon. The thing is, with these cars, that's what makes these cars so unique, is the wood trimming. That's what grabs everybody's attention. And this car, with a little bit of TLC, would be a very, very worthy car. I'm going to go around the car, show you some of the defects, some of the faults. I haven't done anything to this car. Literally, it's been washed a couple times, it's been moved, it's been driven. I haven't done any service work, but it does need mechanical servicing, and it does need cosmetic stuff. You can see, like, the filler panels need replacement. So let's get into the car. We're going to walk around. I'm going to show you the car in its entirety, and we'll start on this back corner here. Quarter is in nice shape. Down below we can see all the wood paneling, all the moldings are all original. I do like this gas lid system. It's just so weird and awkward. Every time I go to get gas in mine, it's like lifting up a big garage door to try to put your gas in the car. You can see the gunmetal gray. It's a nice color combination. For all you 80s babies, I don't know, this car might remind you of one video movie that came out, and I think it was 1986, Adventures in Babysitting. Oh yeah, We all remember that movie. I loved watching that movie. And I loved the car that was in it. You can see the paint on the car is all original. The car's never had any paint work, but the upper surfaces do have lacquer checking. You can see the dullness in the hood and on the roof. You know, the nice thing to paint these cars and do an exterior refresh, you can very easily pull these top moldings off here, tape it, and really just paint from the top up. You know, top of the fenders, hood, roof. If you wanted to get into the doors, although the doors have a good amount of gloss still on them, even the top edges of the fenders. But to do the top surfaces of this car is very easy. That's the one thing I like about the wagons. Because the wood splits it, you don't have to worry about doing the bottom of the doors, the middle of the doors, etc. Anyways, I'm kind of skipping here, but let's get back here. All the stainless, quarter glass, everything is in nice shape. Even the window sweeps are in nice shape. The stainless here is all in nice shape, but could use a little polishing. You can see it's got a little oxidation to it. You come down all over the wheel well here. There's no bubbling or rust. Maybe a little bit of delamination or separation right there in the decal, but no rust bubbling or anything like that. These Buick road wheels, I have them on my car. I could give or take whether I like them or not. I'd love to have the original alloys back on my car, but this car has them as well. Tires are very old. They're Goodyear Club tires. I'm assuming like a Sam's Club or whatever tire. 205 7515. But I don't even remember this name brand you know, model tire for Goodyear. So these got to be pretty old, and you can feel they got flat spots and stuff in them as well. So it's definitely gonna need a set of tires. You come down the door here again. All the trim is in nice shape. It's got all the stainless. There's no bubbling on the bottom of the doors. The wood is in nice shape. A little bit of a chip there. I even love how they put the wood right on the door handles as well. We have, I think, power mirrors on both sides. All the trimming around here is in nice shape. Again, bottom of the door shows really well. Bottom of this fender, nice and clean and solid. All the stainless is in nice shape. The original Electra Wagon emblems. Does have a little spot here where it's a little chip out of the wood. Some fading on this like wood toned painted trim there. Come down the front here. It's kind of weird. This car is optioned with the lamp monitors, but it doesn't have cornering lights. Mine, I believe, doesn't have the lamp monitors, but has the cornering lights. I don't know. The wood on the fender here is in nice shape up front. Again, over the wheel wells, nice and clean. There's no rust or anything like that. Get into the inner fender. You can see a little bit of rust starting on the inner fender liner there. Again, another Buick mag wheel. All four of the wheels have a little bit of, you know, like pitting and rust. You can see there. All four have the center caps. I think there's some fading on some of the caps. And again, another Goodyear Club tire. Don't really know what that's all about, but again, it's going to need a set of tires. Hood is in tough shape, you know. Again, dull, lacquer check. You get up close to it, you can kind of see it. But it's original paint. It's from 1989. Unfortunately, these cars were just prone to that. You can see some spotting in it from probably tree sap over the years. What's cool is these are still all intact without any issues there. Come around the front here. All the chrome and the bright work is in nice shape. The rub strips on the bumper are in pretty nice shape. Cornering lights, turn signals. I believe this headlight is burned out. Obviously, you can see there's moisture in there. Looks like this one's just starting. These are original guide headlights. So you're gonna need probably 2 headlight beams. It's got a little bit of glaucoma. I don't know how that stick got in there. All the grill is in nice shape. Few paint chips on the front here. But again, if you did a paint restoration, you painted the hood, top of the header, you could very easily take all this trim off and just blast the whole thing. Again, come down the front. The bumper is in nice shape. Rub strips. All this stuff is in really nice shape. I don't even think it's this nice on my own Electra Wagon. I think they got rub marks and stuff on the corners. Top of the grill, hood ornament. Come over here. This one's been replaced. General Electric. And this one looks like it's been replaced because it doesn't have, oh yeah, Wagner halogen. So over its lifetime, somehow those are the original headlights. Those two have been replaced. Now you can see here, this bumper filler is missing. This bumper filler must have been replaced at one point. You can see it's been painted, but it's in nice shape. I think it's an original style filler because it fits so well. It's nice and soft. So maybe at some point in the way back when these parts were still available through GM, that might have been replaced at one point. Now you can buy these filler panels aftermarket. You can get them on eBay, and there's a few vendors who sell the filler panel kits for these Buicks. 1, 2, and then I think it's a 4-piece for the rear to complete the filler kit on these. Original power antenna, that does work. Again, the hood, you can see here, paint is a little distressed. You might be able to get a little bit of shine out of it with a buffer. I haven't put a buffer to it, but throwing that out there is the total potential. Chrome is in nice shape, all the stainless, but you can see here the broken out filler. Another nice little headlamp monitor. Come over the fender here. Again, all the wood is in nice shape. A little bit of corrosion, like I said, pitting on the inside of those Buick mag wheels. Inside the fender here. Again, you can see a little bit of rust starting on the inner fender. And then this is the worst spot on the whole car. You can see down here. Try to balance and not fall over. You know, the paint's a little flaky on it. I'm sure if you took this off, there's going to be some rust behind it, but it feels solid. I'm sure it's something that can be cleaned up, and again, you can keep the repair down there below the wood. You could probably spot that in. Wood is otherwise in nice shape. Again, I don't know why. You can see a little fade here. This has got a nicer color to it. Not sure if, I don't know, maybe that wood was replaced at one point. But this has definitely got a little nicer sheen to it. Original PPG windshield is in nice shape. We'll come up over the roof before we go down the side. Again, the roof, original paint, shows its age. Come down the pillars. There's no rust or rot anywhere in this car, like throughout this pillar area. Kind of common to see that. A few little pine needles though. Come back to this passenger front door. Again, the wood's in nice shape. Little minor chip there. Nothing too crazy. On the bottom of the door shows really well. There's no bubbling behind all this. That's one of the things that these wagons are good for, is to hide, you know, rust bubbling behind there. But you can run your hand down it and feel that there is no bubbling coming through any of these spots. Again, down on the bottom here. All through here, stainless is nice. Window sweeps are nice. Glass is nice. And this is probably the worst spot of the wood. You can see somebody has made an amateur attempt at trying to probably recover. It looks like maybe this wood started stretching at one point, because you can see the wood has, like the decal has shrunk almost. There's no rust behind there. This is just, I really don't want to push it and crack it, because I'm hoping maybe a heat or something might stretch this out again. I'm not sure. But someone has definitely made an attempt to try to fix that with like some type of contact paper or something. Another Buick mag wheel. Center cap's got some delamination. A little bit of spotting inside the wheels. Again, 4 tires are definite. Come to the back of the quarter here. Nice shape. Down the bottom here. It's solid. But again, you got scaly rust coming off there. You can see it can be cleaned up there. Tail lights are in nice shape. Again, rear bumper fillers are in need. Rear impact strip. Again, this one's way nicer than the one that's on my Electra wagon. Mine's all rubbed up and scuffed up on the corners. Tailgate's in nice shape. This is a metal tailgate. I think these did come with like a fiberglass version. A little bit of surface rust. This isn't like blistering rust, but where it looks like the paint has chipped off and it's just kind of surface rusted from being exposed. The third brake light. There's some marks in the, looks like maybe this molding kind of stretched some of that. On both sides here, you can see where the molding may have stretched the wood material off. It does have the 2-way tailgate. Show you how all that stuff works in just a minute, but the rest of the back bumper is in nice shape. Chrome is nice, no rust or rot there. Does have the air deflector on the back, the aluminum deflector. Sold new at Coleman Buick. Have the original keychain from when this car was sold new. Let's take a look at the inside of this Buick Electra. All right, getting inside the car. The interior of this car is in absolutely beautiful condition. You can tell it wasn't owned by a family who just had a bunch of kids and dogs. I really don't think the passenger seat or the back seat, definitely not the third row, because when I get back there, you'll see what I mean. That third row has never been used. But whoever had this, the gentleman that had this, the little old man, must have been 120 pounds and just didn't put any wear and tear on this velour. And that's what I love about velour in these cars, is this car has got 70,000 miles on it, but look at how beautiful and plush this interior is. I mean, it still has that sheen. You can rub your hand over it and you can get the felt to go one way or the other. It's not just matted down and worn out. The interior is real nice. Same with the carpeting. I didn't do any shampooing in this. You can see a little bit of dirt on the top surface that would come out with the shampooing, but I wanted to show you how nice this is and not worn out. Even the floor mats, it had a clear set of mats over the mats. I took them out because they were yellowed, but the original floor mats are all in nice shape. Even the door panels, you know, this is where it's real hard to restore one of these. You can restore the outside of these wagons pretty easily. You sell wood kits, you can do the paint work and all that stuff. You can put tires, wheels, whatever. That's really easy to do. You can get a wood decal kit if you really want to just restore one of these, you know, entirely. Strip all the wood off, you can refinish that pretty easy. It's the interior of these cars that are super hard to replicate. All the wood, all the features of these cars that they put, it's very intricate and it's very hard to find the parts. What I mean by that is like all this wood here, this is very common. If these cars sit outside, the top of these panels bake, fade, and they look like garbage. You can tell this car has lived sheltered. I don't know if the car was a garage or if the car was in a carport, because to me it doesn't make sense that the paint has this much fade to it, although it is, you know, the car's as old as me. But it's definitely not been out in the direct sun, because all this paneling, again, the interior, you know, even all the felt on the door panels here, I mean, it's just so nice and so clean. You know, shows really, really well. Inside the door jambs here, you can see the jambs have no rust in the bottom of the doors. Sill plates. Does have a power driver seat, 4 power windows. Come up over here, you can see again that beautiful driver's seat. We'll show you the dash and everything when we get into the rest of the car. Come to the back here, and this is again where, I mean, no kids have ever been in the back of this car destroying it. Inside the jambs are pretty clean there. Come up in here. And look at the back seat of this car. It's just as nice as the front seat. You know, it's got that nice sheen to it. You know, no candy wrappers or anything like that in these ashtrays. A couple screws, I don't know what those are from. But all the wood on the top here is in really nice shape. The back of the seats, you know, show really well. No feet kicking the back of the seats. And again, the carpeting is in really nice shape. And I did not shampoo this. This is just freshly vacuumed. We'll come to the back here. Open up that tailgate. Back paneling of the tailgate is in nice shape. A couple little minor scuffs or whatever up on the top here. Probably from loading or unloading stuff. But this is what I mean when I said this back seat has never been sat in. This still has the protective plastic that is clipped to this carpet. I don't think this was adhered to the carpet. But I think if you can remember back to some of my other videos, I've seen these little tags broken off on the carpet up front of some of these GM cars. And now I know what those were. They were to hold these protective mats down. You can see here some type of part numbers, you know, probably for the carpet kit that went in the back of this. So we're going to flip this down. And this is cool here. Flip that down. Right here, you get your option tag, code, decal. Let's pop this stuff back down there. We'll flip this. And this is locking. Perfect spot to put 4x8 sheet of plywood. It'll fit between the wheel wells of these cars. That's why they're so utilitarian. Not only good for carrying families and all their luggage, but you can also use it to carry wood and tools and stuff like that. And this car obviously wasn't used as that, because even the carpeting back here is in really nice shape. You know, when you see those wagons that are all beat up, all this plastic is beat up. Along the sides here, you get a lot more of this stuff. A couple little light spots, but nothing really too major. In that pocket there, you can see is some of that contact paper that was used on that quarter. Headliner was replaced right before I got this car. That's one thing that the people did who sold me the car. But that was 2 years ago. So it's been a while. Come in the back seat here. Inside the door jamb, again, nice and clean. It looks like a little bit of minor rust just starting on that door seam right there. And there. Again, door panel is in real nice shape. The wood on the top here shows really well. All the felt, again, very nice. And inside those ashtrays, beautiful. Carpeting, again, looks great. Back of the seat backs. The cool thing with these wagons is you push this little guy, I believe this, try that one more time, comes folding down. Well, probably got to put that driver's seat up a little bit, but you can essentially fold this whole thing flat down and just put, heck, you can potty in the back, you can camp in the back of these things. Get inside that jamb, nice and clean in there. On the rocker, it's nice and clean. And again, the passenger seat looks just as good as the driver's seat. The felt, or velour, I should say, is in beautiful shape. Even the armrest, there's no abnormal wear spots. And this car is kind of weird. It's got a manual forward and back, but it's got a power recline. Bars right there to adjust the seat forward and back. Wood is in really nice shape here. All the estate wagon logos, door lock buttons. Very common door cards to like the Caprices and stuff like that. I remember my grandmother's 89 Caprice Sedan, LS Brougham. She had all like, this whole setup was just the same as her car. Dashboard is in nice shape. Climb in here. This vent is popping up a little bit. You know, I guess probably the only way to really fix it is to maybe glue it down. That's a combination of your defroster and then your speakers, but the dash pad itself is in really nice shape. You know, it's not like totally distorted and warped. They do shrink a little bit. You can see that there, but there's no cracks or anything like that. All the wood trim is in nice shape. Glove box. We'll pull that stuff out in a minute. All your climate control. Then it has dual vanity mirrors, I believe. Or maybe just one. So these are the engine starting instructions. To start the engine, it is important to use the following procedure. Now this is when they're trying to pedal off their Oldsmobile powered 307 carbureted engines. Automatic transmission, place shift lever and park. Manual, depress the clutch pedal. Cold engine, slowly depress the accelerator pedal. Unbelievable. Warm engine, with your foot off the accelerator, crank the engine by turning the key. I can't believe that they had to put that in here. Anyways, let's see what we got for keys here. So I do have two original sets of GM, you know, square and round keys. Even the original Coleman Buick in Trenton, New Jersey keychain. Got some lights there. I'm gonna pump it once. Starts right up. And you can see here all the switches and everything are in really nice shape. Even the crazy thing with this car is it's got this digital climate control that has that obnoxious beeping, but they all do it. The air conditioning actually works in this car. It's still original R12. I'll put that on in a minute. Original radio, that works as well. Power antenna goes up. You have power mirrors, rear defroster, and then your rear window goes down. We'll see if we can get that two-way tailgate to open. Inside your glove box, I think there was a couple of receipts for some old service work, your books and stuff like that. The original owner's manuals are probably in there, but it does have the Coleman Buick maintenance folder as well. Steering wheel's in nice shape. It's kind of like a rubbery, it's not a leather wrap, same as my Electra Wagon with this wood paneled horn pad. but you cruise control your lights and stuff like that. 70,459 miles. The thing I love about my Buick, and just like this one, it's got these porty hole looking you know, gauges, but then this gauge, this is the indicator gauge here. So when you put it down, you know, you can put it right in and out of gear. It's got the automatic overdrive symbol, but just how they designed that, I just thought was kind of cool. You have a ashtray here with a really old nickel in there and an unused cigarette lighter. This car is definitely a non-smoker's car. There's no signs of that odor at all. I'll go back here and see if we can. Yep. Look at that. That's what we call a two-way tailgate, folks. A lot of people don't know what that is, but you can tailgate on these. You can sit on them. How do I know? Last year we took mine out and we went and saw fireworks after we went apple picking. My daughter, my wife was sitting on the back watching the fireworks. It was just the best, really. Fold it up here and then crank it down to open it as well. Let's go up to the front, pop the hood, show you this old 307 in action. Everything you see under here is exactly how I got the car. The people did put a new battery in it, so when the car got loaded on the transporter, the car would start and run. You know, the belts are probably really old. You know, the car is going to need a mechanical going through, oil change, belts. You know, the hoses are definitely original. You can see that there. Everything looks pretty clean under here. You know, minor surface rust here and there. Nothing too crazy. The insulation pad on the top starting to show its age. There's a couple chew marks and little mice that might have got in there, but you know, it's just starting to get a little tired as well. You know, but all under here is in really real nice shape. You know, not rusty or anything like that. Hood closes nice and solidly. You can hear actually the belt squeaking a little bit. Now this car, you can hear just a little bit of an exhaust leak just starting to come down somewhere in the center here. I'm gonna lay down. Can't really see anything, but it's probably the original exhaust. There's probably some slight leak. I don't know if the camera's really picking it up. I don't know if it's the muffler that's just starting to pop. We'll go around the other side here. Yeah, I'm thinking it's probably that muffler there. Anyways, I've never had an issue with starting this car. It's always started right up. It shifts through all the gears. Let's turn this on. So get a little bit of air conditioning. We'll take it for a spin. Probably not going to be able to hear me. Shut that off. Let's get on the road. Shifts through all the gears, like I said. You're going to want to do a fresh fluid and filter. I mean, I'm just driving the car now, and what I am feeling is, you know, flat spots in the tires. You know, you can feel it, you know, shaking when you're going down the road, and the road's smooth. So, you know, the tires are old. You give the brakes, you can feel a little bit of a pulsation to it. Probably got rust buildup from sitting. You know, air works, windows work, locks work, all your power accessories work. The car cruises, nice 57 Chevy. Car cruises down the road well, and again, the rear window works. One works. I did a horrible job cleaning the windshield. Totally appreciate anybody for watching the video. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, my name is Anthony, 978-930-1004. Get me anytime. It's a 70,500 mile, one owner, 1989 Buick Electra Wagon that, call it, since 2013 or so, the car has been off the road. So figure that for what you will. The car is going to need servicing. The car is going to need upkeep to get the car safely road ready. Runs, drives, stops, steers, AC blows cold, original R12. So you know what? It's a great project for somebody. And, you know, unfortunately, I've just put this car to the side along with my other yard sale cars for too long. I just don't have the time to commit to some of these cars. And that's why I like to pass these on to folks who are looking for something like this, and maybe you want to tinker on one or make one their own or do whatever, make some memories. Again, thanks everybody for watching. If you have any questions, 978-930-1004. And again, don't let distance stop you from getting a dream car in your driveway. I can handle all your shipping and get this car delivered right to you. If you have any questions about that, reach out to me. You can check me out on Facebook, Specialty Motor Cars, up in Pelham, New Hampshire, or on Instagram, Specialty Motor Cars NH. Thanks everybody for watching. We'll talk to you on the next one.